part of the Boundless Audio Podcast Network.
Hello, welcome to the Artist Pivot Podcast. My name is Ayana Majorbe, and I am an actress, voiceover artist, mentor, and your host. This show is a bi-weekly conversation highlighting pivots and life lessons from the perspective of artists, those who work in and around the arts, and arts educators. For those listening who don't consider themselves artists, you can pivot too. Everyone possesses the ability to do so. You just have to be reminded sometimes. All of our life lessons have taught us to be better pivoters, and it is my goal to share these life lessons to guide and inspire others. Here is this week's episode. All right, y'all. So on this episode, I am so excited to say that joining me is Queen Shereen Macklin, who happens to be a bright, bold, and vibrant soul who embodies her vision of freedom, transparency, and connection for all women-X, more specifically women-X of color, who have often been silenced, downplayed, or ignored. She is a native New Yorker who currently resides in her spiritual home of New Orleans. She earned her undergraduate degree in chemistry from North Carolina A&T State University and a master's of fine arts in acting from the Actors Studio Drama School at Pace University. As a member of SAG-AFTRA and AEA, she has performed on stages across the United States and internationally, commercials, film, and voiceover work. She loves creating and producing work with her soul tribe that inspires and heals. With over 20 years of experience as an educator and creator of theater and dance programs for both children and adults in underserved communities throughout New York City, Los Angeles, and New Orleans, she brings this same dedication and passion to the work that she continues to do as an intuitive healer, professional performing artist, certified life coach, teaching artist, and entrepreneur. Her mission is to embody and create safe spaces for women-X of color to discover, heal, and inspire in order to be the fullest expression of themselves and reveal their true voices to the world. Y'all, welcome Queen Shereen Macklin. Hey, girl!
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you, my dear. Thank you for joining. Hey, you can't see us, but we dancing, y'all.
I love it.
Yes. I love it too. So here's my first question to you.
Okay.
If I were to ask you right now, Shereen, how are you doing? Like, I texted you the question, how are you? But you could only respond in emojis only. What would you text me?
Definitely the brain exploding emoji.
Okay.
And my favorite one, it's the drunk face, but
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I make that face all the time.
It's the one with the squiggly?
Yeah, I'm
Is
like
that
this.
one? Yes.
So you can't, y'all can't see it, but yep, the squiggly, yep.
Yeah.
And some heart eyes.
Okay. Yes.
And a crystal ball.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you so much for that imaginary text. I love it. I've received it.
Good. Yes. Hope it's clear. I use those a lot.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Y'all, so I'm so excited that Shereen is on with me. We met I'm just going to say a couple years ago. I'm not going to age ourselves. But
it was actually about to be 10.
Was it 10 years?
Like right about now, it's 10 years.
No, it's 10 years. Oh, y'all, we just had this revelation. Wait a minute. It's been 10 years.
No, that's wild. That's
what?
crazy.
Shereen, it's been 10 years?
It's been 10 years. Oh, crap. That's wild. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take that in.
I know.
Ooh, all right.
Okay.
It's a good thing. It's a great thing.
It's a good thing. It's a great thing. It's a great thing, sis. It's a great thing.
It is.
So yes, I've known this queen for 10 years, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mhm.
And, she right now is actually, you put this in words for yourself. Right now, you are living your own definition of success
Yes. I
in your
did
life.
write that. Yes, it's
You
true.
did write that. You are living your own definition of
Yeah.
success. Those are your words, sis. You wrote that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where I want to start is how you got here, like how it started and your journey of living in your own definition of success as, a performer, a teacher, a healer, all of the above.
Woo. Yeah. So growing up, I was always pushed to do math and science because
Mhm.
that's going to lead you to a career that's going to make you some money.
Mhm.
I always taught. I always was interested in teaching. I would line my dolls up and have my chalkboard and teach them the lessons that I learned for the day. I also always danced and I sang, and I had to really beg to go to dance class, because it was looked at like, okay, you could be doing something else with your time. But I really loved all things the arts, and I
Mhm.
would find a way to do it no matter what. I went to Brooklyn Tech, that's a math and engineering high school. So we had a very rigorous academic schedule, but I found my way to do plays. I would still go to dance school, any extracurricular activity, I was there
Mhm.
doing it. And I thought, okay, I'll go to school and be a pharmacist. And I did a program for Johns Hopkins, and it was a pharmacology program. They took us to a hospital, and I was like, there's no way I could work
Mhm.
in a hospital every day for the rest of my life. So I said, well, maybe I'll be a chemical engineer. They make things, and so that might be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went to A&T as a chemical engineering major.
Mhm.
And then I said, all right, what actually would I be doing with this degree? And I took a semester off and I did a co op at Kimberly
Mhm.
Clark, close to Philly, which is why
Yeah.
I have a lot of connections there that I love.
Yeah.
And I decided, no, there's no way I could spend my life working as a chemical engineer. So that
Mhm.
was a crisis moment. But I went back to school. I said, okay, let me use my electives to see what else I could be interested in. I took a sociology course. I took a acting for non-theater majors course. And I was like, whoa, people go to college and study something that they actually like to do. This is amazing.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I didn't have the guts to change my major to theater, but I changed to chemistry because I had a lot of science credits. And I figured, okay, if anything, I could always teach with a chemistry degree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
theater professors, they really embraced me and pushed me to go to graduate school for acting. And
Mhm.
that's what I did. And uh, I kept going. I kept performing and teaching alongside of that. So,
Yes.
yes.
Understood. Understood. So, right, the beginning wasn't as straightforward as one may think.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yes.
Because I had
Yes.
to get through my grandmother begging me to be a microbiologist,
Oh boy.
instead of, but when I realized, oh, I'm the one paying for these degrees,
Come on.
I'm going to choose something that I actually want to do this go round. Y'all can have this
Yes.
chemistry degree, okay?
Mhm.
I'm going to pay for this master's. It's going to be something I love. So
Yeah.
that's how we got there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Yes, that's how you got
Pivot
there. You said
number one.
they look, there it is. Pivot number
Pivot
1.
number
I'm
one.
going in this direction.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's it. Like,
That's it.
you were like, I'm paying for this and I'm gonna go do what I love. Like you got your chemistry degree. You should be satisfied with that. I'm gonna go
Hmm.
do what I want.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
There it is.
it.
There it is.
And my people know I'm headstrong. So they're like, okay, you must be really serious about this. So, they kind of got on board. They still are like, I don't really know what you're doing, but it looks like you got it. So, all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're not gonna fight you because they're like,
No.
this is not gonna be worth it.
No.
She's gonna do what she's gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
So, like you said, let me kind of sort of get on board,
Mhm.
kind of sort of,
Kinda,
but
sorta.
okay, go. We just gonna watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yes, yes. I love
Mhm.
it. So then when you graduated with your master's, was it
Yes.
like, okay, here I am, world, like, and then acting and doing all the things, and then you're like, oh wait, how do I do this?
Child. Life hit
Li-
hard,
mm-hmm.
right? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
they give you this what you think is a prescription. Like, okay,
Yes.
it's like yes,
Yes.
I made that pivot to acting, but I still was working under the old way that yeah, I'm gonna get a degree and then everything is going to be okay. And
Ooh.
okay, no.
Mm-hmm.
And even still in the world of performance, it's like okay, yeah, you get a degree, you have a better chance. You join the union, you'll have even more opportunities. And that's not always the case either. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, graduating grad school, life hit hard.
Yeah.
Several months later, well, graduating, I booked some work,
Mhm.
and for a few months, that was great. But my mom was sick, and then
Okay.
not long after, she passed away. So
Yeah.
it's like you think, oh, I'm going to be, auditioning and performing here and there, and life is going to be great.
Mhm.
But my whole world turned upside down. So
Yeah.
pivot number two,
Mhm.
got to
Uh-huh.
figure that out. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Understood. So
Hmm.
you were, living life, as you say, just living life. Yes, your
Hmm.
profession happened to be as an actress, but you
Hmm.
were living life.
Yes.
And so there was a point that you decided, I know that you told me you went to LA. And
Yes.
so what was that decision like leaving New York to go to LA? Because for those who don't know, those are two very different markets,
Yes.
two very different, first of all, just cities, lifestyles, energies. And when it comes to the creative spirit and making, they're just two different markets.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So the decision lied heavily upon the lifestyle and what
Hmm.
was shifting for me because in New York, I'm hitting the pavement, I'm auditioning, most of the work I'm booking is out of state, so I
Hmm.
can't even enjoy like my home in Brooklyn. I'm barely there, but I just got tired of that. And
Hmm.
I realized that I function much better in the sun.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did make a switch, like, okay, I'll try more film and TV. And
Hmm.
so that was probably pivot number three. Like, okay, let's do these things and
Hmm.
find a market that's a bit more lucrative where I don't have to work as hard.
Yes.
It was hard.
Yes.
I was singing hard, okay? And then when I got
Hmm.
to LA, um, I loved it. And
Hmm.
that's where I embarked upon this whole spiritual journey. The
Hmm.
sun did something for me. So I enjoyed driving to my audition and not
Yeah.
having to take the train and be stuck and hot and sweaty or cold.
Yeah.
um,
Yes.
and so that did wonders for me moving
Hmm.
there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And so that opened up, you know, I feel like this season I've been saying iteration a lot. So that
Mm.
opened up a new iteration of Shereen. So I want to use your own words. And you said that you recognized that freedom was your top priority and you let go of the hustle of acting altogether when you got out to LA. So break that down for me, that pivot and pivot in mindset and pivot in just how you living life.
Yeah. So I went to LA determined to do all the things. I
Hmm.
I signed with a manager and an agent. Within a few weeks of being there, I hit the
Hmm.
ground running. I was everywhere
Hmm.
and enjoying it until I didn't anymore. I
Mhm. Yes, yes.
I was auditioning. I booked a lot of gigs that were a lot of fun. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna work with a new agent and manager who's gonna expand my reach. And then I did that. And working with her, I realized, oh, she can't take me where I want to go because she wants to box me into just being Shereen the actor. But I had
Oh,
become Queen Shereen when
okay.
I moved to LA. That's what I realized, that that is what I was stepping into. I was building my queendom. I was learning more of who I was, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't work for someone who would be content with me working on a cruise ship when I knew that's not what I wanted to do anymore. Or
Mm-hmm.
asking me to separate these parts of myself as a healer, as a coach, even,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, no, I do all of these things, and it's
Mm-hmm.
okay that I do all of these things and I do them well.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because I think now we're accepting multi passionate more than we did. It's okay to have a bunch of hyphenates. Previously, it
Mm-hmm.
was not like that. It was kind of like, okay, well, what do you actually do though? I
Yes.
had to answer that
Yes.
question, and when I decided, I don't care. These are all of the things I do. This is all of me. And take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
figure it out, because I get it. I understand what's going on here.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it. So look, I dropped my manager, I dropped my agent, and I just said, I'm not doing any projects that I don't feel aligned with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I've built enough relationships that people will call me in for work that I didn't even have to audition for. And that
Yeah.
felt good to me
Mm-hmm.
because that gave me the freedom to still teach and coach and build my businesses and work on projects that I love.
Right.
I let go of that. I would be able to work on projects that I love only when I earned a certain amount of money or a certain celebrity status, right? I created the
Yeah.
world based on the resources that I have right now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh,
Exactly that.
I did that.
You did do that. You better give me a little something, a little pat on the back.
I did.
Yes. You
Yeah.
did that, Queen
Yeah.
Shereen.
Yes.
You
Yes.
did that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's accepting that, like, I 100% agree with you, like, in the time we are in,
Mhm,
being a multi-hyphenate is like, yeah, like, yes, yes, because there are so many different parts of you that
mhm.
make you who you are, and to have to just pick one? Why?
Why? Why?
Why?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No. You have the freedom to work on what you wanna work on and make income. It's like you're not ignoring the like, nobody's ignoring the fact you need money to survive. That I okay,
Yes.
great. We understand that concept. But also you need your soul to be filled to survive.
Hello. Hello. Yes.
Like, you could have all the money in the world, but if your soul is at negative 0%, you can't even enjoy the money.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. No. Because I was not about to work at Starbucks or wait tables like my manager was suggesting. I'm like,
Oh,
lady,
no.
that don't even make sense. Do you know who I am?
Right, right.
I
Right.
didn't know. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right?
Mhm.
Like, I'm not saying that at all. I
Oh,
just
absolutely.
mean, there's so much more to me that I can offer the world that is aligned with my purpose, that I don't need to be at Starbucks to make money to pay the rent.
Right, right. You're like,
Yeah.
"I can do other things." It's
Yeah.
like she's like, "Oh, no, you just do that." Well, some people may be able to, but I know that I can do other things
Mhm.
besides that.
Yes.
And like you're
Yes.
saying, there's nothing wrong with that. I have lots of friends who are still at restaurants, still at Starbucks. I've been there
Mhm.
and I've done that. I know it wasn't for me.
Same. Same. I've done it all.
I've done it. I can tell you a whole bunch of jobs that I did that I was like, "Dear Lord, I can't wait for you to get me out of this because I know this is not the end all be all
I know.
because I can't."
I've done everything, okay? Delivered Postmates, drove Uber, washed cars. I mean, look, I get it in. I'm not saying I'm above. No, actually, I am saying I'm above doing just anything.
Just
to make
anything, right.
money. I am. I am. I've
Hmm.
learned that. I don't have to do it that way. Yeah.
There you go. That's it. You've learned it, right? I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
do it that way. I've been
Mm-hmm.
there. I've done that. I
Yes.
learned. Check. I don't have to do it that way
Don't.
anymore.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Right. Right.
Done. Yeah.
Yes. But
Ah.
honoring that, honoring your multi-hyphenate and not feeling ashamed because I think, especially in the arts,
Mhm.
and I think this does go for other careers as well, but especially in the arts, people ask, "Well, what do you do?" Like, if you're like, "Well, I'm an actor, but I also do this and this and this. I have like 5 things." Okay, but what do you I do all of them.
Do all of them. Yes.
I do all of them.
Yes, I do. I do. They may not happen
Yes.
all at the same time, but they're
Uh-huh.
all a part of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
That's it.
affirming, right? That's why we do this because
Mhm.
we're not alone,
Yeah.
and it's
That's
important for people to see that and hear it.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That you're not alone, that
Mhm.
everybody is, yeah, I wanna say honoring their multi-hyphenate self and going, "I do all of these things, and I love it, and I'm okay with it, so you're gonna figure out how to be okay with it. And even if you don't, doesn't matter."
It doesn't.
Doesn't really matter, actually.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Oh man, that's human nature. I guess we want to label whatever we don't understand, and so
Mhm.
people, they have a hard time trying to figure us
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
But it's all right.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fair, that's fair, that's
Hmm.
fair. So, my next question to you would be, is there, a lesson that you are still learning or something that you have, like, learned in the past that you're like, "Oh, y'all, this was a big lesson that I finally learned."
Ooh wee.
Mm.
So this spiritual journey that I talk about when I went to LA was
Mhm.
all about uh, learning how to love myself and
Mhm.
what that really means. And I think, no, I know I've done an excellent job of figuring myself out up until this point.
Mhm.
And I know that now it's time for me to take those lessons that I've learned and apply them to all of my relationships.
Mhm.
And so that is what I'm practicing right now. It
Yeah.
is challenging
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I've figured out how to do it well. Like what I like and how to move individually, but it's very different in a partnership. That it's
Mhm.
no, it's not all about me, but I
Mhm.
still do have to remember those lessons that I learned of how to put myself first, how to
Yes.
speak my truth, and stand my ground. Yeah,
Mhm.
those were the lessons. Speaking my truth, standing my ground, and knowing that I am enough.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
those whoo, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So those are the big lessons learned that I am still practicing. I think we'll forever be practicing.
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah,
Understood,
yeah,
understood. Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. Yes, I get it.
Hmm.
So, with that, I know that you are also an instructor and a healer and a coach. So, what is it that you would like to impart to your students and your clients and those who are like, "Okay, Shireen, teach me."
Ooh, that was the big aha moment for me. Like when people would reach out to me for whatever coaching, dialect coaching, acting coaching, vocal coaching.
Mhm.
I'm always asking the question, well, why are you here? Because usually what it is it's a matter of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like working with a dialect. You've tried the dialect before. You didn't play around with it, but you scared to come on out with it. But you probably 80% there. So
Yeah.
most of my work is creating a space safe enough for someone to play, for someone to be the
Mm.
true expression of themselves. And then, the other 20% is the technique that you're going to take and, into the audition room. But
Yeah.
if we can't get past the stuff that's blocking you from being your true self, there's nothing I can teach you.
Ooh, yes.
That's what I've realized it is. We
Yeah.
got to undo those things that tell us that we're not good enough to do the thing that we're being called to do.
That
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. So that's where the
Yes.
work is. It's always
Mhm.
it's always on the self. And you know what? You can't have one without the other. This journey that I've
Mhm.
been, the spiritual journey, has made me a better actor because
Mhm.
I know more of who I am. I
Mhm.
know what I want and why I want the things that I want. And
Yeah.
those are the questions that you have to ask of any character that you're creating or working on.
Mhm.
So, what better practice to get than with yourself?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh! Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so just that's just true. Like
That's it. That's it. That's
that's
it.
it.
That's it. That's the number one lesson. The truth.
The
The
truth.
truth.
Yes.
And trusting yourself. Once you can tell
Mhm.
yourself the truth, then you can trust yourself to do anything that you want to do.
Yes. Yes. That's it. It's the trust and taking the leap of faith. And
Mm.
like yes, it's the there's a I think I've said this before, but there is this like kind of story I heard of like we get so riled up. We get ourselves so like full of like what ifs and this and that and like you put your parachute on, right? You're ready. Like I'm going to jump. I got my parachute just in case and like I'm ready. I'm going to do it and you're all worked up and then you jump and it's a 2-inch sidewalk. And you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's what I was freaking out about?
Yeah.
I didn't even
Yeah.
need this parachute. I did Oh,
Yeah.
I could have done this 5 years ago."
Lord. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
We're only asked to
Mhm.
take a step. And the
Yes.
universe is going to meet you the rest of the way.
Yes.
And
Yes.
the other lesson is that the net is always there. Like we are
Ooh.
always protected, right? It's not, oh, leap and the net will appear.
Uh-huh.
It's there. It's already there. We have everything that we need all the time. It's just our
Mhm.
mind that will just keep you
Mm.
stuck or trying to be
Mhm.
perfect. Oh Lord.
Mm. Ooh, girl, talk about it. Ooh, because I am a recovering perfectionist, friend. I am a recovering
I
perfectionist.
know, I know, I know, I know. That's part of it too. It's just
Mhm.
part of letting go. And how we do anything
Yes.
is how we do everything. So we just, practice it in one area of your life and it will bleed over into the others.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, right.
Eventually.
Eventually, hopefully that's what we
Yeah.
want.
Yes.
That's the intention.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Mhm. Ooh, yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right.
I don't even have nothing else to add. Like, that's it, Queen Shereen, that's it.
Shoot, that's how we're showing up every
Mhm.
day. That's
Yes.
freedom. Oh
Yes.
my goodness. I have so much
Yes.
gratitude right now. Thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. Because I forget.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for you. How
Ooh.
did you end up in New Orleans from LA? Because we were just speaking about you being in LA, but y'all, she's in New Orleans right now. So I want to know how that happens.
So it is, well, 2020. We
hmm
know that the pandemic happened,
hmm
the racial uprisings. I was dead smack in the middle of it. West Hollywood,
hmm
single, all my projects canceled.
hmm
Um, I was teaching theater, and we pivoted to teach theater virtually. That was a
Yeah.
whole, whoa, who does that?
Yeah.
How do we do this thing?
hmm
Um, and so, yeah, my work went virtual. Everything went virtual.
Yeah.
So I had already been doing a lot of my coaching work online anyway. So it's like, well, here I am. I'm single in a WeHo.
hmm
I'm like, well, what are we gonna do? Everything was calling me to New Orleans. I
mm.
I just, because I know when everything happened, everyone wanted to go home.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, what do we do? Go home. And it's like,
hmm
New York is not home for me anymore. It's like, what would I
mm.
do if I would be miserable.
Yeah.
Because all of the things I've grown to love, I wouldn't have anymore. Even though my people are there and I would love that, but I would not
Yeah.
be truly living in my purpose. And so I was just listening. All the signs were saying, just go to New Orleans. I wasn't thinking that I would move there.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just I was gonna move from where I was in LA to another location. And so in the in between time, I said, well, I might as well go to New Orleans for 30 days and see
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
see
Yeah.
how I feel, use a month's rent and just be there because I want to be there. I feel myself being called there. So I packed up
Yeah.
my car and I drove to New Orleans. That's from LA to New Orleans. That's what I did.
Yes.
And I'm still
Yes.
here.
And you still it's
And
been
I
what,
met
2
my
years?
king. I
Yes.
came because I
Mhm.
wanted my boo. I wanted family. That was important to me. And
Mhm.
I chose to make that a priority.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
here doing it.
You yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are in New Orleans doing it.
I'm in New Orleans doing it.
Yes. Yes. Because you took that leap of faith. You were like, "Something's telling me and I'm gonna go."
I'm just gonna go. Cause how do you know until you do it?
You don't.
I I mean, I know there's some people that it works that way for them, but it's
Mhm.
never been that way for me. I had to try it on.
Yes,
Just like I
yes.
did, with the chemistry and the engineering. I'm like, let me no, doesn't fit. This doesn't feel like me.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when you spend your life doing what everybody else tells you to do or wants you to do. You
Mhm.
don't even know what you want. I didn't know what I desired. I didn't know what was truly me or what was being put upon me.
Yeah.
In this whole experience, I realized, oh, Broadway and being a famous film star is not really what would truly make me happy. I
Mhm.
guess if it would come along with everything, cool. But
Right. Right.
it's not, oh, I get this and then I'm successful, or I win this award and then I'll be happy. Oh, I've made it. For who?
Mhm.
To who? Under
Right.
whose definition of success? And that's where I realized this is not my definition of success. If somebody's like,
Mhm.
well, what's your dream role? I'm like, dang, I already did those. The show we did together.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
We were
Uh-huh.
dancing, acting, singing, swimming.
Swimming, God, we were playing in water. There was a pool on
It
stage.
was a pool on the stage. Where they do that at?
Right.
It was an amazing experience
Yes, yes, it was.
that most people have no idea even happened.
But, yeah. Yes.
But it meant the world to me. It was
Mhm.
healing for me.
Mhm.
And that's why I do the work. So when I realize, okay, that's my purpose in it, then all those
Yeah.
extra things don't matter. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't feel good and it wouldn't be nice to be acknowledged in those ways. I am not saying that. There's
Yes.
importance to that, but
Yes.
it's not the end goal.
Right.
I know that of myself now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. You can't hang your self-worth on it, which is, I
Mhm.
think, what we're taught.
Yes.
We're taught to hang our self-worth on the achievement of Broadway or winning the Oscar or winning the Academy Award.
Mhm.
But that's
Mhm.
not true.
Mm-mm. 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 No.
It's not true. How can it be true?
How?
Like, there's so many actors and but so many awards.
Yes.
Like, you uh-uh.
No. There's just so many ways to go about doing this. There's just
Mhm.
no right or wrong way. Your
Mhm.
way, following your own unique path. That's the
Yes.
right way.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Following your own unique path and being able to wake up in the morning and go, I love my life. I love my life. Not anybody else's, my life.
I get to do what I want to do.
Yes.
And it's not always easy. It's
Nope,
not.
not
It's
saying that at
still
all.
challenging, right? There's
Yes,
still some
yes, it
days where
is.
I'm like, I just want to do nothing. But
Yes.
I have to be grateful that, whoa, I'm still doing the things that I want to do. I'm no longer dancing to the beat of somebody else's drum.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
huge.
Oh, it's so huge. It's so huge.
Yeah.
And I think you've actually already answered this question. This would be my last one to you. But what would be your nugget of wisdom if you could just tell anybody, they don't have to be an artist, just another human being, what your one nugget of wisdom would be for them to take with them? What would it be?
Ooh, okay. I mean, yes, I have mentioned them. So it's four things. It's really
Hmm.
speak your truth, stand your ground in that truth,
Hmm.
and know that you are enough. And that the
Hmm.
more you reveal, the more you will heal and
Yeah.
be able to
Ooh.
move forward in
Hmm.
in that truth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Just to be you. Just to be you. That's all you have to do. That's your only job.
Hmm.
Be
Hmm.
yourself. So the
Yes.
nugget, be yourself.
I love it.
We got to it.
We-
Okay. The four things is actually one. Just
it's
be
one.
yourself.
Be yourself.
That's
I love it. I love it.
it.
Yes, Shereen, thank you so much for sharing. Queen Shereen, thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank
having
you. Thank
me.
you.
Mwah, mwah,
You're so
mwah.
very welcome. You're so very welcome. And before I let you go,
Yeah.
two things. One, where can people find you to connect with you? What are your social media handles?
Yes, go to queenshireen.com. You can learn all about my story. You can purchase from my shop there and book sessions with me. And then you can find me on Instagram at I am Queen Shereen, Shereen.
Got it. Thank you. Don't worry. All of that will go in the show notes. So you guys can
Okay.
just click and it'll be right there. So, yes, no worries. It'll all be in the show notes. And then I must say to you that I acknowledge you, I celebrate you, and I uplift you.
Goosebumps. Thank you. I receive all of that. Oh,
You're
thank you
so
so
very
much.
welcome. So very welcome. Thank you for joining me.
So glad to be here.
Please feel free to visit this episode's show notes for links to get in touch with my guest, as well as a link to rate and review my podcast on Podchaser. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, all you have to do is scroll down to the rate and review section. You can find and connect with me on Instagram at The Artist Pivot to see audiograms, fun facts, and posts featuring my guests. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to get notified when a new episode is out. And please share this episode with at least one friend. Ever heard the phrase found time? Well, Audible helps you find the time to get more stories and information while commuting, cooking, gardening, exercising, etc. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks. ranging from bestsellers to celebrity memoirs, news, business, and self-development. Every month, members get 1 credit to pick any title, plus 2 Audible originals from a monthly selection, and access to daily news digest, as well as guided meditation programs. They have podcasts, theatrical performances, A-list comedy, and exclusive Audible originals you won't find anywhere else. Fun fact, if you listened to every title on Audible, you'd be listening for more than 3 centuries. So click the link in the show notes or visit audibletrial.com/theartistpivot to start your 30-day free trial of Audible and listen to that book you haven't read yet or laugh at a comedy special while doing the dishes. Again, that's audibletrial.com/theartistpivot. Using the link lets Audible know that we sent you and a great way to support the show. You can also support the show by buying me a coffee. Well, not literally, but figuratively. Click the Support the Show link in our show notes and it will take you to a site called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can support the show with your donations. If you do ever want to buy me a coffee in real life, my favorite coffee is the Italian brand Lavazza. No, they did not pay me to say that. This episode was edited by Kieran Niemand and produced by me, Ayana Major Bay. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll speak to you soon.